Okay, we seem to be on here preparing, and I'm happy to say hello to everybody. This is Gidon Ariel and my good friend Pastor Alan Latta, who is mostly here or partially here. Are you
Yes,
there, Pastor?
I am here. I am here. Uh,
Okay.
for the
You
podcast listeners, this won't make a difference, but for viewers, this will be terrible. I'm so sorry.
Okay, we
This
got
is
some
me
technical
and
difficulties. It's not your
yeah,
fault, but I like seeing people, and maybe
yes,
maybe
sir.
our viewers don't care as much, but that's the way it goes. So I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm sure that you're not in your comfort zone because it's a little bit uncomfortable. But okay, here we are. Welcome to our conversation.
Thank you.
Getting started a little bit late, and we won't have much time because I have another meeting coming in about 20 minutes, so it'll be a short
Yes,
meeting anyway. How are
yes.
you, sir?
Doing well, doing well. How are you?
I'm
You've
doing
had
great.
yours?
I'm getting ready for my youngest daughter's wedding in 2 weeks.
Oh man. So any more single children after her?
Well, our oldest is not married,
Okay.
and but this will make four. And up until 2 weeks from now, I was able to say all of my married children each have three children, so I have nine grandchildren.
Okay.
And I'll be able to continue saying that, but I won't be able to say that all of my married children have children.
Yes. Well, I pray blessing on your festivities. Yeah, it'll be a glorious time.
Thank you very much. And I have a special offer. If you have any Christian friends who are visiting Israel now or will be in 2 weeks on April 7th, then please tell them to get in touch with me, and I will see if I will be able to extend to them an invitation to this special Orthodox Jewish wedding in Israel.
Okay. And Stacy has a group going. I don't know when her group is going.
I think she's going in about a month or two.
Okay, I have a friend that is going with her on that. So
Who's that?
his name is Renee Chahardy.
Renee Shahardy. I have a friend by the same name.
Oh, it's probably the same friend then.
Looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah,
Renee and oh, what's his wife's name?
Cindy.
Cindy, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's pretty much big news with me on this side. What's news with you, sir?
Um, we have a wedding of a son's, I mean, my brother's daughter's getting married in July, and my children are coming. It's all in the Austin area, and we've got two condos reserved for them to stay with us. So this will be first vacation with our children since they're grown and married with kids. So that'll be fun.
Wow, you said vacation. The condos are going to be in
Downtown
Austin.
Austin, downtown Austin, rooftop pool overlooking the city. So I told him I just have one request. I would like to have dinner one night at a restaurant that overlooks the lake where the bridge is that millions of bats fly out every evening.
Oh
It's something,
my.
it's like a natural wonder, just millions fill the sky
Every night of the year?
every night during the season. Then they migrate. They're Mexican free-tail bats. They migrate south later, but in the summer they're here. So, yeah. So this
That's
bridge downtown Austin where they took up residence years ago.
and they keep on and they keep on squatting there. That's
Yeah,
so interesting 'cause I had another conversation with somebody. Um, she's in Nebraska. Yeah, so I think there's a place called, I don't know, Quincy, Nebraska or something like that. Some place in Nebraska that there's
okay.
some other kind of bird that lands on a lake and every morning takes off thousands of them.
Wow. That's interesting. Well, these are bats hanging out under the bridge, and
They're
then they fly out for the night to eat, eat mosquitoes and stuff. And
they're
yeah.
in,
So anyway, I just want to watch that with the grandkids and see their faces. And
Gosh, I'll keep that in mind too.
yes, yes. So I have a question about the red heifers.
Oh yeah, the
I
red
don't want to
heifers are
get you in
getting.
trouble, but what is your take on that? Is something happening April 2nd? Your perspective?
April 2nd? What's happening on April 2nd?
There's going to be a sacrifice in the Mount of Olives. That's the gossip here in Texas, if we should use the word gossip. May not be true. So yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. I'm a headline reader, so I did see some headlines about the red heifer, but I did not remember seeing the date April 2nd. Just let me take a peek at the when is April 2nd? April 2nd is Wednesday. April 2nd is Wednesday, a week and a half. Well, yeah, April 2nd. No. Yes, no. April 2nd is 4 days after Rosh Chodesh. So maybe it's 10 days, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe
Days.
that's it. Maybe that, but that has nothing to do with it. There's in the Bible when the Passover lamb is first talked about, there's a difference between what we call Pesach Mitzrayim and Pesach Dorot. The Paschal sacrifice, that the first one in Egypt, and then the one forever, the generations one that was sort of like commanded at the same time. I won't get into it too much, but there it says that you have to take your Passover lamb or animal, I think 10 days before the 15th, like the 5th of the month. So, but that is taking the Passover lamb. That is not dealing with the red heifer. The red heifer is a totally different thing.
Yes. Yes.
And that being said, anyway, so the red heifer is not a sacrifice. It is burnt outside of the temple. And
Right.
anything that happens outside of the temple is definitely not a sacrifice. But
Right.
that is a bit of semantics, I believe. Um, on the just one second, on the 30th, yes, on the 30th of March, which is less than a week from now, so Sunday, a week from yesterday, there will be a conference about the red heifers in the community of Shiloh or Shiloh. Some Americans might prefer to pronounce it that way. And that will be a conference talking about the red heifers. I think there are going to be about 7 lectures. One of them I think is going to be by an Indiana rancher. My guess is he's going to speak in English, and somebody's going to do simultaneous translation, or not simultaneous, right after, right? Like he'll talk he'll say a
Right.
sentence or two in English, and somebody will say it in Hebrew.
Yes.
But that's it. I think that the phenomenon of the red heifers that our friend, I'm sure you know him, he's a neighbor of yours,
Byron
uh,
Stinson.
Byron
Byron
Byron Stinson. What's his last name? Stinson.
Stinson. Yes, sir.
Stinson. Yeah, I got a little senior moment there for a second. Good friend of mine. So the fact that he and a few of his friends are getting together and pushing this forward is very exciting. A lot of things are renewing in our season. When I say season, I mean in this century.
Yes.
The very fact that so many Jews are going up to the Temple Mount, I think we had about 60,000 Jews went up to the Temple Mount last year, something like that. Every year, every month, thousands and thousands. Every day, hundreds and hundreds of Jews going up to the Temple Mount. So that's something very, very exciting. And the idea that with the red heifer ceremony, Jews will be able to achieve a certain level of ritual purity that they are unable to achieve without that red heifer. The primary benefit of that kind of purity means that they can enter even closer into the Temple Mount precinct. Right now, even without the red heifer, it's a disagreement amongst different Jewish scholars. But I certainly follow those scholars who say that you are allowed to go up to the Temple Mount without the red heifer to certain areas. But with the red heifer, you're allowed to go even closer. You're basically allowed to go to almost all of the Temple Mount. Today we're only allowed to go like around the edges.
Okay.
So that would be very interesting. But none of this is going to happen without a much stronger how shall I say, agreeing upon by the Jewish people. Now, the Jewish people are agreeing more and more about things, in spite of what the media might say or not say. But we
Yeah.
still have a ways to go. But like I often say when I'm talking about stuff like this, in Hebrew, Yeshuat Hashem keheref ayin, the salvation of the Lord is like the twinkling of an eye. So things might change overnight. That's what we've seen, and that's what I believe.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So there's a seminar day, 7 session deal, 5 session.
Let me see if I can find that. 1 second. Give me a second here. Let's see if I got it here. Yeah, is that it? 1 second. I think that's it. Yeah, got it. So let me open this up in a new image here. And let me share my screen. The name of this conference is called Pursue His Presence. These
Okay.
are new discoveries and researches about the temple and the red heifer. It'll be happening this coming Sunday, the 30th of March, in ancient Shiloh. The first session will be by a gentleman by the name of Joel Guberman, who's actually a friend of mine. He's one of the founders of the Blue Fringe, a nonprofit organization, a new research and exercises regarding the royal purple and there's a certain kind of worm. I don't know exactly what it's called. Some red scarlet, that kind of stuff. It
Okay.
sounds a little bit boring, but when you think about it, these are colors without which you can't make um eh, the garments of the high priest. So they've recently discovered that within the past like 50 years. Pretty amazing. So he's going to talk about that. There's another Rabbi Mackover. He's talking about the different aspects of pilgrimage to the temple and purity on Passover in the temple. I won't talk too much more about that. Then we'll have a fellow by the name of Larry Borant Reiner or something like that. He's an American. He is he raises cattle, a cattle, whatever you call that. What do you call somebody who raises cattle? A
Uh,
cowboy,
Cattle breeder.
cattle breeder.
Okay.
And that is my journey from Indiana to red heifers in Shiloh.
Wow.
So that's an interesting time. I wonder if somebody's going to record that. I'll ask them. And then after that, it's the Rabbi Azaria Ariel. Um, Jewish legal solutions for the red heifer ceremony that is to take place in a cemetery.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the whole point of the red heifer is to purify yourself from impurities that stem from cemeteries and dead bodies. So, but right now the ceremony must take place in the middle of the whatchamacallit, the Mount of Olives, where
Oh,
there is a Jewish cemetery.
okay.
So how do you deal with that? So I don't know the answer, and this is the first time I actually really even thought of the question,
There's no
but
date
he's going to be
there.
talking about that.
Yes. Okay.
And finally, there's a Dr. Dvir Raviv, who is an archaeologist, who will be talking about new discoveries regarding purity and the pilgrimage in the days of the Second Temple. And I don't have to tell you that the days of the Second Temple were also the days of Jesus himself, because he was during the Second Temple.
Right.
So that's the kind of stuff that we talk about here. Is that cool or what?
Yes. So the first temple was known as Solomon's temple, and
Exactly.
then Ezra had something to do with rebuilding, right? And then Herod came along and hijacked it or improved it or
Oh, no, no, no. I would not say hijacked it, even though I cannot claim to be an expert of that part of history. Herod was not the kind of guy that you'd like to cross.
okay.
If he says, I want to build a new and improved temple, you all say, yes, sir, Mr. King, sir. Because you don't want to remind him of his ex-wife and ex-son and ex-family that are all not alive anymore, thanks to a certain Herod.
Yeah. So did he
Anyway, yeah,
did
so the fact is that Herod really did destroy. I mean, he probably built it in a way that he only destroyed part of it at a certain time and built it on top, put it down. I'm not sure it is, but the bottom line is his temple was really the third temple
yeah.
because it was so much bigger than the second temple that Ezra, Nehemiah, Zerubbabel, and all of these people built the temple, and it was they didn't have a lot of money and they didn't do too much with it. But
So
yes, it was the Herod's temple was the most magnificent one, as the sages of the Talmud say. No, 10 portions of beauty came down to the world. Nine of
wow.
them took Herod's temple, and one the rest of the entire world.
Wow. It
That's what
was
that's what the
gorgeous.
sages say.
Yes. Beautiful.
And so and that is why the all of the models and pictures of not pictures but drawings of a temple and computer aided CAD computer aided designs of the temple, they all are reconstructing Herod's temple because it was the most impressive.
Yes.
But how it exactly will look when the third or fourth temple, depending on how you're counting them, will be built speedily in our days, that we'll see soon, Bezrat Hashem, with God's help.
So the hammering happens away from the temple site, right?
I'm sorry?
The pieces are made in other places and then it's assembled at the temple.
What is assembled?
They're not chiseling stones at the temple site.
Oh, no,
You don't know.
to tell you the truth, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
it sounds right to me that they bring the chiseled stones, and you don't even chisel them. You can't chisel stones. The Bible itself says, "Do not use any metal on the stones that you use to build the temple."
Oh
Because
my goodness.
so what they did is they discovered this kind of worm
Oh,
that you could like I don't know exactly how you convince the worm to cut the stone where you want it cut, but I guess it
okay.
was a certain kind of a miracle. And
Wow.
the worm would eat away from the rock until the rock broke. That was the stone that they used. That's the way I understand it.
Okay.
That was not, I don't think that was for the entire temple. I think it was just for the altar.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So I'm not comparing the temple to a church building, but there's a log church here made from wood that was cut down in Washington State up in the Northwest. And there they built the church in Washington State, then disassembled it, numbered the logs, and then put them on a rail car and drove them close here and then trucked them in. And then the same log man that made them actually moved here and lived here for several years. And so he started out, his first job was to reassemble what he had built. And then obviously they put the roof and things on it that he didn't do there. But the wood was cut and hewn, you know, in
Why?
Washington State and then shipped here.
Is that because the person who paid for that said, "This is the kind of church I want. I want Washington Wood"?
I guess in freight you pay for weight, so why pay for the weight that's going to be thrown away here? I don't know how that works, but
Why not just build with local ma-
oh,
material?
we're not known for pine trees or spruce trees.
So somebody wanted that kind of tree. Okay,
Yeah, he wanted a giant log. It was a cowboy church, and so
gotcha.
yeah, they don't have those
That
kind.
reminds me, we mentioned Austin earlier. There is
Yeah,
a synagogue that was from years and years, decades, 100 years, I don't know how long,
man.
and somebody decided to move it to Austin. So they took it apart and rebuilt it in Austin in the Jewish Center.
Well, I will try to find it, take a picture and send
Oh
it
yeah,
to you.
yeah. When you go to, definitely do that. Go to visit it. When you go to Austin, first of all, do you know my friend Bob Odell?
I've met him. Yes.
So
So
look
he's
him up.
there?
He's a lovely guy, and he lives in Austin. And tell him that I want to see that special synagogue here in Austin.
Okay. I'll do it.
A- Anyway, as I told you, unfortunately, I have another meeting coming up any second now, so we're gonna have to cut this a little bit short.
Thank you so
Hopefully, the next time we meet, sir, you'll get your camera and your
much.
Zoom
I'll try to
fixed.
get it fixed today, see what the deal is. I did a Zoom last Thursday with my phone, and I think
Okay.
the coordination between these two devices, because I much prefer to do it on my laptop,
Mhm.
it's referring to the phone and I have the phone turned off. So anyway, that's a theory. We'll figure it out.
We call that first world problems.
Yes, yes.
Okay, my
Yeah.
good friend, nice seeing you again,
The third
or
world says I
hearing
can
you.
also call. Yes, good to see you and hear you. Bless you, sir.
Shalom, shalom. Bye
Here I am waving by.
bye. I'll wait.